This rider was forced to stop because he ran away from enforcers. He can't show a license, so they're calling in the tow truck to get his bike. Driving in slippers and no crash helmet. That's a benefit of having the big bikes. They can't chase those people who run away, force them to stop. And now that's one rider taken off the road because he can't show a driver's license. According to the rider, he wasn't trying to escape. He just sped up because he's in a hurry to pick up his son. Considering how many riders I see run away from enforcers every day, I'm sorry, but it's hard to believe. So the lady said it was the security guard that told her it's okay to park on the sidewalk. The problem is you're the one holding the license, you're in charge of the vehicle. So you are responsible for parking there and they will issue a ticket. I tried to flag down that yellow motorcycle. He refused to stop, pulled his accelerator. He didn't know there's more enforcers up ahead, so he wasn't able to escape. That's one of the things that many people don't consider when they complain about the way a driver was stopped. There are many people who run away, refuse to stop, and sometimes you have to take steps to really force them to stop. His initial violation is slippers, by the way. They asked him for the ORCR. Apparently it's not in his name and it's expired. That might be the reason why he refused to stop, not just once, but twice. And there goes the bike now with the towing crew. And this is just like the car we saw earlier, obstructing the sidewalk. If we go around, you can see it's actually quite a nice wide sidewalk until this vehicle. That's the reality. If you have a very large vehicle, it will not fit inside a regular space. According to the apprehending enforcer, they did ask if someone here could give a license, take a ticket and move it. Allegedly they said no, and that's the reason why it eventually got towed away. And the team are now writing out a ticket to this one parked on the sidewalk. That's why everyone's walking in the road there. Also the gates are open to the property, so that obstructs the sidewalk. Anyway, they write out the ticket. Hopefully there'll be a driver so he can move it himself. The problem with these little e-trikes is often they're illegally parked, but obviously there's no plate. So it makes it very difficult to write out any kind of ticket. It is considered as being illegally parked. They do actually have space to put these inside, but obviously they prefer to park it on the road because then it consumes the public space instead of their private space. It's what's convenient for them, but not convenient for other people. And that was pretty interesting. I just saw a guy here. He's using this camera to zoom in on the electricity meter all the way up there. That's pretty impressive and a lot easier than climbing up a ladder to try and read the meter. They're writing out a ticket to this one for illegal parking. The problem is it's a trailer that's also been dumped in the road. I don't know if it's theirs. So they've agreed to hook up to their trailer and remove it, take it to their garage. I just wonder why they have to wait until MMDA go here before they do that. Otherwise it becomes a permanent parking lot for trucks and trailers. Maybe this guy could be dog of the day. Don't bite me, please. I thought they were flagging down this rider because he's wearing slippers, but then I noticed the mummy's carrying a baby on her chest. That rider refused to stop a little further along the road. Anyway, they did manage to flag him down. That's slippers and unauthorized helmet. 3,500 pesos if they put both violations on the ticket. There's a small child balanced on the front of this motorcycle. Don't tell me that's safe. It's not safe. And then mummy and daddy are wearing unauthorized helmets and slippers. Good morning everyone, MMDA back on the road. Right now you'll see the towing crew walking around this video, making a video to document any damage before they put it up on the tow truck for illegal parking. It looks like they also apprehended that lady over there, but I can see she's smiling, cooperating, so simple ticket and then she'll be on her way. The car's already halfway up the tow truck and the driver just came out now. Obviously too late, so he'll have to go to Tomana and pick this up. And across the road in front of that condo, you'll see the towing crew hooking up to two cars. There's pretty much always vehicles parked on the sidewalk there and they're always being towed away. There used to be a problem with a lot of motorcycles parking here also, but they already fixed that and now they let them park on the private property. But the cars outside on the sidewalk, obviously they go up on the tow trucks because there's no one here to move them. There's actually a big area roped off on the other side of the building, so potentially that could be used for parking. But maybe they want to reserve that so that when the customers come for these shops, they're guaranteed to have a parking space. I'm not sure. I think this sign was put here by the building owner, no parking. You actually don't need a sign to tell people not to park on the sidewalk. Anyway, they just hooked up to this one, they'll lift it, and then boom, on his way to Tamana. This rider's been flagged down now. He already knows what the violation is. He's using a construction helmet instead of a proper motorcycle helmet. Thankfully he does have a license, but it's still a 1,500 peso penalty. And I won't be surprised if he has a helmet and he just left it wherever he came from. This rider was flagged down now because his passenger's wearing slippers. Actually, I was surprised by how many motorcycle taxi drivers aren't aware that for many years already they weren't allowed to carry passengers with slippers. That was already part of the technical working group for motorcycle taxis. And obviously under the single ticketing system, LTO made sure the wording is very clear that it's not allowed for the driver or passenger. You see this vehicle parked here on Panay Avenue, and then look at the huge sign, no parking along Mabuhay Lane. That's a towing crew making a video, document any damage, and then whoosh, up on the tow truck. And there it is on the back of the tow truck now. And in front of this condo building, they are forever towing away cars obstructing the sidewalk. The residents know, the guards know. Now what the building owner could do is they could remove their own walkway, which is private property behind the car, to make the parking space bigger. Or they can guide people to park horizontal, like that silver car in the background. See how he parked so he won't obstruct the sidewalk? So they do have options available to them, but if they park like this, obstructing the sidewalk, it will be the same conclusion every time. It'll go up on the tow truck. If I remember correctly, it has air suspension. So when it's parked, it's very low to the ground, making it difficult to tow. But once he flicks the switch, it will lift up.